Hi, my name is Gabe, and today I'm going to be talking about Episode 8 Protesting the National Anthem, Part 1. First, do you think that kneeling during the national anthem is okay? Why are NFL players kneeling and protesting during the national anthem? Although many people in the country see the act of kneeling during the national anthem as disrespectful, disloyal, or unpatriotic, the true meaning of it is to protest, advocate, and bring attention to the ongoing police brutality incidents that keep going on due to racial division in this country. Furthermore, in this episode, Emmanuel Aiko talks to NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell about this sensitive issue that keeps going on. Throughout the video, I will explain common misinterpretations of players kneeling during the national anthem, the true meaning and message behind these protests, and how the NFL reacted and dealt with this issue. But first, I'm going to talk about my personal experience when I was at my high school at midnight and I got questioned by the police. So, a couple of friends and I went to my local football stadium at my high school a couple weeks ago, and it was like around midnight. And if you know, going to any high school, any school facility at like a certain amount at a specific time is considered trespassing, and we didn't really think much of it because that's what people do all the time at our school. And we went there, we didn't do anything wrong, we just made TikTok videos, like played football. And as we were walking off, we were only there for about 30 minutes. As we were walking off, we see flashing lights. And keep in mind, being with two white kids and one Asian kid, and me being the only black kid, I don't know. I didn't know what to think. And so as we walk towards the cars, police officer says, hey, go sit on the curb. And I was just, in my mind, I was thinking, as a black man, I was thinking, don't do anything wrong. Just act, be polite, be a gentleman, and you'll be out of here. So they question us. We tell them everything. They said that they saw us on the security cameras, and they said it looked like suspicious activity. We explained everything in detail, and we didn't do anything wrong. We weren't scared because we knew we didn't do anything wrong. But me personally, I was like, I can't make any sharp sudden movements. I just have to be still, answer yes sir, no sir, blah blah blah. And they talked to us, they questioned us for about 45 minutes, and they come up with nothing. But I noticed how when talking to us, they try to twist our words around, or especially my words. And I didn't think it was fair. They obviously knew that we were in the right, like we weren't doing anything wrong, but they still chose to do this. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the color of my skin. I don't know why. But yeah, after going home, after reflecting, like I just sat in my room for a couple minutes and I just thought about this and I was like, why? But yeah, that is my personal experience. Which leads me into my first point. Kneeling during the national anthem was never about the flag. A quote by Charlie Goodell, Roger Goodell's father: when you do know what's right, you have to have the courage to do it. And Colin Kaepernick had the courage. He was the first person to step up and use his platform to advocate for this. And the players started doing this after a couple years. And truth of the matter is, the vast majority of people in the country, mainly from Caucasian descent, did not like this. There's a lot of backlash, and they saw it as disrespectful and unpatriotic. And I think this is primarily due to ethnocentrism, which is our tendency to view our own culture as superior to other cultures. And many Caucasian people in this country decided to turn their eye to this and not educate themselves or get informed. And I think that's a big problem. And that's what the players want to do. They wanted to, use their platform to educate. And finally, you really don't learn until you're uncomfortable. And being uncomfortable gives you an opportunity to learn. And, everybody knows that, if you don't step out your comfort zone, then you're never going to learn anything. You're never going to experience anything or get better. And, people just need to get uncomfortable to really understand what's truly going on. Now that I've gone over some key misinterpretations about players kneeling, I will continue to go over the true meaning behind why players are doing this. The purpose of protesting during the national anthem is for the players to exercise their right to bring attention that something that needs to be fixed. And that something is the ongoing mistreatment of people of color in this country that we still see today. And I believe the main reason as to why players are protesting and using their platform is because of the ongoing police brutality incidents that keep happening. And, just to name a few, like Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor, Tamir Rice, and George Floyd. And it keeps going on, and the number just keeps growing and growing, and people are fed up, people are tired. And lastly, some people in America are not directly affected by this issue, and so players and later the NFL want to bring this issue to light. And which leads me into my last quote. Two knees, one protesting the grass, one pressing on the back of a man's neck. Choose. You have to choose. Which knee will you defend? There are no half choices. There is no room for indifference. There's only the knee of protest or the knee on the neck. And I believe the people that are not directly affected and see this are for the knee on the neck. Now that we know why the players advocated in this manner, we're going to get into how the league dealt with this issue. As many of us know, Colin Kaepernick was the first NFL player to protest during the national anthem. He received a lot of backlash and he soon lost his job. Now you gotta ask yourself, how could someone advocating fighting for human rights receive hatred, harassment, and even death threats? And the answer is simple. People learn to be what society and their environment teach them to be. And it's hard for them to listen and to change. So after listening and hearing, the NFL wants to use their platform to promote change, and they wish to start sooner. And that reason being is because they didn't realize the impact it had on their players. And the NFL being a player-driven league, they need to, if their players are impacted, then they're impacted as well. And so a quote that I found by The Guardian states that we were wrong for not listening to NFL players earlier and encourage all to speak and peacefully protest, a quote by Goodell. And that gets me into a definition called intercultural communication. It means communication between people with differing cultural identity. And not the NFL, not just the NFL, but also, people in power and leaders need to incorporate this, that, everybody that they're speaking to is not of the same culture or descent. And, lastly, Goodell didn't realize what was going on in communities when the kneeling began until he sat down with some players, not including Colin Kaepernick. And he said, you feel it, you know it, and you see it. And when that happens, it's very powerful and it helps you understand better Goodell. And I think everybody needs to be put in a situation where they can hear and feel it for them to truly understand. In conclusion, although many people in this country see the act of kneeling during the national anthem as not okay or justifiable, there seems to be a lot of common misinterpretations with this issue. The NFL did not react to this issue in a good manner. However, they soon listened and learned and decided to make a change. Furthermore, the true meaning behind these protests is to bring attention to the ongoing police brutality incidents that keep occurring in this country due to racial division. Next, we have Sam Letterman talking about part 2 of protesting in the national anthem.